Okay, I have mailed you this PDF file. Because I used it for my reading, I might have highlighted. That might help you, might not. But in this version, the names of these speakers are not given. So you have to read very carefully to find out who is saying what. It may pose a challenge for you, but it's a good thing. You have to guess who's reading. Then what I've sent you, beside this, I've sent you this file. Allegory of the Cave, text and quiz questions for reading practice. Original file without answers, 48 paragraphs. There are 48 paragraphs and I have set questions like this. For example, let me show you. Look here. Name of the student, BBA, BBIS, marks obtained, full marks, reading text 1. It should be test, not text. Sorry. It should be TEST. Reading test 1, March 22nd. I mailed it on the date. There is instruction. Carefully read the paragraph. There is introduction. Now, you will read this paragraph, and when you finish reading this paragraph, you will get quiz questions. And these quiz questions are based on this paragraph. For example, it says, what is the name of the philosophical concept that Plato's Allegory of the Cave illustrates? Idealism, realism, empiricism, skepticism. Now, if you read this paragraph, Plato's famous Allegory of the Cave, written around 380 BC, is one of the most important and influential passages of the Republic. It vividly illustrates the concept of idealism. The answer is here. You read, understand, and then tick. If you correctly tick, you get 1 mark. Why am I doing it? I am doing this to encourage you to read the text. Because my experience is that majority of the students don't read the text. This is what I've mailed you. And besides this, have I mailed some? Yes. I have also mailed you the links of the YouTube videos of my yesterday's class. For example, Asha says this is the first day he came, he has missed 3 classes so far, or 2 classes. So he can use the links and watch last classes and benefit. Or if you are doing exercise at home, you want to go back to class and see what we did, you can just open the links, watch the videos and use it as if necessary. I don't mean you have to watch it, but if you need to watch it. And one request I have, please subscribe this channel if it's useful to you. Okay, that will help me to get more viewership, right? But it's not compulsory for you to watch the videos. Watch the videos if you need them. Okay, that's all. Now let me call someone to summarize what we did yesterday. I'll keep you out of camera focus, so you will be here. Okay, so roll number 27. Roll number 27. Come, with a note copy. Please do tell your name before you speak, so that by hearing the voice you can know who was summarizing that day. Go on.
Good morning to one and all. My name is Rubisha Karki.
Rubisha Karki. Okay, Rubisha, go on.
Yesterday we learned about philosophy.
Could you kindly have louder voice? It's all right.
Yesterday we studied about philosophy, the love of wisdom.
The love of wisdom. Go on. What else did we do? We define the word love of wisdom. Fine.
In Nepali it's darshan.
Darshan, okay. What are the meanings?
Darshan and drishya.
This drish, not drishya. Drish, the root. Yes, then. What else did we say? Have a quick look.
To be enlightened, to see the truth.
Okay, to be enlightened, to see the truth. Okay, what else did we do?
Difference between love, difference between love of wisdom and
difference between love of wisdom and
intelligence.
and
Intelligence.
intelligence. Okay, we talked about intelligence. Has somebody got more details? She will read out. Please help her by giving a note copy. Someone? Yes, she has more details. Which one? This one? This one. Can you use it? She has got. She says she has more details. How about calling you and you explain? Come. Thank you. She will come. We want more details, so she will help us. Yes. Supply what she missed.
Plato is talking about cognition.
Cognition. Plato talks about how we know. Yes.
Cognition ability. Cognition means ability to know.
Ability. Go on. Don't look at me. Go on.
Plato has the theory of cognition and divided line.
The theory of divided line. If you feel difficult, you forget this theory. No problem. If you easy read, otherwise you forget. Yes. Go on.
Love of wisdom and intelligence, where we talk about first reasoning, then reasoning means
Reasoning. Reasoning means hypothesizing and testing the hypothesis.
and gain ascertain truth. Then we talk about know with 5 types: seeing, listening.
Okay, how do we know? Sensory perception, right? Yes. What are the 5 ways to know? Sight,
seeing,
touching, tasting,
smelling.
and seeing, touching, tasting, smelling,
Which is known as
listening. Yes, go on.
Which is known as sensory cognition.
Sensory cognition, knowing by your senses.
Something is beyond this is in wisdom, intellectual.
Something.
Is beyond this wisdom.
If something cannot be known by the senses, then you have to use the intellect. There are things which you cannot know by the senses, right? And you have to use your intellect. Yes, go on.
Nature means human ability to know.
Nature. Another word is nature, right? What does nature mean?
Human ability to know something.
Human ability to know something. Good. Thank you. Okay, let me do one thing in this class. So I remember when we left the class yesterday, we were talking about the concept of the divided line, right? The divided line. And we said that in natural science we use hypothesis. We have a problem. Then we imagine the cause. And then we try to verify if the cause is really causing the effect. And how do we verify? How do we test the hypothesis? By our senses. We test the hypothesis inductively. We test the hypothesis inductively or deductively. Inductively means first using examples to arrive at a theory. Deductively means starting with the theory and understanding examples. If difficult, forget. So we use 5 senses to investigate the world. But Plato says that reality has 2 forms. One, it has ideal eternal form. The other, it has material form. Right? When I fell in love in class 11 with a girl in my class, long ago. So one day, she gave me a petal of the rose flower she brought from the college garden. That petal of the rose flower, the pink colored flower, symbolized her love for me. That petal flower represented the truth about her love for me. After almost 30 years, a month ago, I was browsing books in my home library. I found an algebra book, and while browsing through the pages, something fell off the book. Out of curiosity, I tried to see what had fallen down, and I found that it was that petal she had given me 38 years before. It is still in my book. Now Plato, if Plato was here, how would Plato analyze this reality? Plato would say that flower which she gave you 38 years before is the material reality, because you could touch it, you could see it with the senses. And even today when this petal dried, it is dried now, it's no more pink. It's brownish, yellowish. When it falls, I pick it up and smell, it has no smell now. But I can see the petal and the linings. Still that petal is with me in my book. That's a material reality. Now I am married, I have 2 children. I am married to somebody else, not to her. But I still cherish my love to her in my heart. Now that love which I said I cherish in my heart, that is the idea of love. And this idea of love, Plato would say, is permanent, eternal, unchanging, universal. And it will never die even when I die. So for Plato, love is an idea. For Divakar, love is a rose flower. So you decide what is love for you. If for you love is a rose flower, you believe in material reality of love. For you love is material. But if for you love is not the rose flower, but the feelings you have, the ideas you have for somebody, then you believe in, let's say, spiritual reality, or let's say ideal reality. For you, the truth is ideal. Now, the problem is, if love is a rose flower, you can investigate it with your 5 senses. You can touch the flower, you can smell the flower, you can taste it, right? You can see it, right? But if love for you is not a rose flower, but the idea of love, then you cannot see the idea, you cannot listen to the idea, you cannot touch to the idea, you cannot taste and smell. So Plato says that when love is material, you can know about love through your senses. But if love is not material, but ideal, then you cannot know love through senses. Then how do you know? Then he says, then you will know love through reasoning. Through reasoning, through intellect. And Plato says that in this world where we live in nature, material nature, we gain knowledge, particularly scientific knowledge, through hypothesis testing. What is hypothesis testing? You have a problem. Then you think that there must be a cause for the problem. You think there must be a cause for the problem. Then you start imagining, is it cause A, is it cause B, is it cause C, is it cause D, is it cause E? Last dasai, My wife got dengue fever all of a sudden. One day before Dasai. On Navami. I was supposed to go home leaving her here in Kathmandu. And when I was in my office, she gave me a call saying, I'm not able to speak. I'm in bed. Come quickly. As I reached home, she was having 103 fever. And I got puzzled. She has not left home. She has not gone anywhere. We use mosquito nets. We use liquid. All safety. I didn't get dengue. I go around the city. How come she got dengue? I began to think. I said, okay, did she get dengue from the community? First hypothesis. First cause. Did my wife get dengue from the community? Then I cancel, because my wife usually does not leave the house. Then I say, did my wife get dengue infected from another patient who had dengue? Then I said, for the last 7 days, we haven't had any guest at home. So she can't have got it from infection from another fellow. Then I said, did my wife get dengue from Tarai? Because dengue is often found in Tarai. Then I said, no, because she has not visited Tarai anytime. Then I said, 3 days before, we had gone to Tribhuvan International Airport to see off my daughter to USA, and we reached around 5 o'clock. Daughter's flight was 7:30, and I remember we were loitering around the area. We were sitting outside the gardens, and I well remember that mosquitoes started biting us. And I even remember, I told my wife, "The khutta sopa, look at that dengue area, khutta sopa." And she tried to cover the feet. Then I said, could she have got dengue at Tribhuvan International Airport? Then I said, yes, it must be. Because there were thousands of other people who had come at TIA from different places. And any one of them might have had this virus with them. And a mosquito bit them, and it bit my wife, and within 3 days, she's having the first burst of symptoms. So what I'm showing you, I am showing you how I have a problem. Then I imagine 4 causes. I verify, is this true? No. Is this true? No. I give a reason. Is this true? No. I give a reason. Yes, this is true. I give a reason. How do I do this testing? How do I do this verification of hypothesis? Using my senses. And I arrive at the conclusion that my wife got dengue not at home, not from the relatives, not from the community, but from visiting Tribhuvan International Airport. If she had not gone there, she would not have gone. I remember how I had long socks and how I pulled my pant to make sure mosquito don't bite me. But she didn't have long socks. And she got bitten. Now what I'm doing? I am creating knowledge here. Knowledge about how people get dengue. In this world, we create knowledge that way. Sensory knowledge, right? And such making of knowledge is known as experiential knowledge. Empirical, let me use the word empirical knowledge. I'll use the word empirical. Empirical means knowledge based on your sensory experience. Knowledge based on your sensory experience. Now Plato would say that reality which is ideal eternal cannot be known this way. cannot be known this way through senses. If reality cannot be known through senses, how can we know? We can know reality only through wisdom, only through intelligence, only through reasoning. Right? So Plato says that the soul, let me write the soul here, is at the bottom of the line in ignorance. The soul is in the darkness. The soul is in ignorance. Soul has no knowledge of ultimate cause. Because the soul knows only material cause. Look here, when I was talking about how my wife got dengue, I gave you material cause of dengue. I said she got dengue because she was bitten by a mosquito at TIA. This is a material cause, right? Physical cause of dengue. So here we have material cause, and Plato talks about ultimate cause. What is ultimate cause? The phrase ultimate cause means, in a sense, God. What is ultimate cause? Ultimate cause is that cause which has no cause to cause it. Everything is caused by God. God is not caused by anything. Everything is caused by God. A belief. You can reject it. But nothing causes God. Everything is caused by God. This table is here because of God. But nothing causes God. So Plato says that we need to know the ultimate cause, but we know only material cause. So the question comes, how can we move from material cause to ultimate cause? I repeat, how can we move from material cause to ultimate cause? Plato would say, we have to climb upwards the ladder of knowledge. How do we climb upwards? By moving up, we come to hypothesis. Then we move beyond hypothesis. We move beyond hypothesis. And when we move beyond hypothesis, or when we move beyond material thing, we enter the spiritual realm. What realm? What realm? The spiritual realm. This is material realm. What realm? Realm means sphere. We are in material sphere. And as we move upward and enter the spiritual sphere, then we will know the ultimate cause. And once we realize the ultimate cause, we will know the ultimate reality. Then we will know the ultimate reality. So the ultimate reality cannot be known by senses. Now, to explain this thing, how we can know the ultimate reality, let me show you what Plato does. Just a minute. Let me take you through some slides quickly. So, okay. I have talked about what philosophy is. Just a minute. Okay. So, hello. I'll skip these slides. I have sent the slides, you read it yourself. I'll focus on something else. Okay. This is the first paragraph of your text. Let me read out. And now I said, there are two people in this dialogue, the teacher, Socrates the teacher, and Glaucon the student. And they are discussing what is reality and how we can know. There are two people in this dialogue. There is a teacher, Socrates, and he has a student, Glaucon. Glaucon has come to Socrates with a problem. He doesn't understand what is reality and how we can know it. So the teacher is explaining what is reality. And look what he says. And now I said, let me show in a figure how far our nature is enlightened or unenlightened. Behold, human beings living in an underground den, which has a mouth open towards the light and reaching all along the den. Here they have been from their childhood and have their legs and necks chained so that they cannot move and can only see before them, being prevented by the chains from turning around their heads. Above and behind them a fire is blazing at a distance, and between the fire and the prisoners there is a raised way, and you will see if you look at low wall built along the way, like the screen which marionette players have in front of them, over which they show the puppets. In marionette show, there is a screen, and behind the screen there is a puppet player with a puppet. Behind the player there is a light. As the light turns on, the player's silhouette outline figure is cast on the screen, and as he moves the puppet, real puppet, from behind the screen, the audience over there sees the shadow. Have you seen? Right? Let me demonstrate this thing to you. I'll use a chair instead. Okay. Suppose this is the cave described here, and I am the prisoner. Now, I'm like this, so my neck is tied to my knees, and I cannot turn back, so I do not know what is behind me. I have no idea what is behind me. Now what happens? I need a volunteer. You come. We'll do something crazy, something funny. Come. Sit over here. Sit, let me see. Okay. Stand on it. Stand on it. Yeah, stand on it. Yeah, go on. Don't worry. Stand on it. Take it easy. Wait. Okay. Acha body ba. Ali thori garnu sakincha. Okay, come. Yes. Go chair ma. Yeah. Okay, now look. There is a fire at a height, and here I am the prisoner, right? अब तिमी के गर्ने भने तिमीले हात चलाउने, टाउको चलाउने, मुभमेन्ट गर्ने के, okay? Movement गर्ने. So do the movement. Now, okay. Listen to me carefully. Keep on moving. So as I see on my wall, so I see this figure moving. Make a sound. Take bola. Hello. Loud. Let's start.
Hello.
Okay. Now I see this shadow, right? Now I can't move behind. So I don't know he is there. I don't know there is fire. I know nothing about this side. I have no idea. Since my birth, I'm facing this side. So now I look. There is a man walking. Speak, bola. Hello. Oh, he speaks. Answer. Oh, his hands are moving. Count, everything. What happens? What is happening? Look here. He is the object. That is the shadow. This is the cause. This is the cause. That is the effect. Right? I don't know the cause. I don't know the So I think that shadow is the real person. I believe that shadow is the real person because it is moving. And as he speaks in the cave, his voice echoes. Do you get my point? His voice echoes. And so, because I don't know what is behind me, I don't know there is fire, I don't know there is a path, I don't know people are walking, I don't know this shadow, I don't know this object, I don't know nothing about this thing. So I start thinking that shadow is reality, right? Because I am depending on my eyes only. I am depending on my eyes only. I am not using my wisdom. I am not using my... I trust what my senses see. So I trust my eyes. But don't you see, eyes deceive you. They see a shadow and they give you the impression that that's a reality, right? So now, this is the object in nature, a human being walking through the path. And his shadow is cast on the opposite wall. Now, this is the object and that is the reflection or shadow of this object. Now, this shadow is caused by what? This shadow is caused by that fire. This shadow is caused by that fire. Now, I don't know there is fire. I don't know there is a gentleman walking. So, I think that is truth. Am I right? No, I am wrong. That is not truth. I should understand that that is a shadow cast by this object, caused by that fire. Now, this is a cave, right? Now, Plato says, suppose one of the prisoners, suppose I somehow open my chain and out of curiosity, I walk out of this den. Wait, and look what happens. Look what happens. Now I walk out of this den, out of my curiosity. There's a door. Every cave has a door, right? So I walk out and I open. The first thing that happens is I'm perplexed. I'm perplexed. You become perplexed when you enter the cinema hall from outside. You are late. The cinema has already started, and you get in running. The keeper opens the door, and you get in. You become perplexed. When you enter darkness from light, your eyes have problem. Similarly, when you come to light from darkness, your eyes have problem because of sudden change. So the first thing is, I cannot see clearly. I cannot see clearly. And it takes for me some time to adjust my vision. Do you realize? But gradually, I see trees for the first time. For the first time, I see trees. And I know, oh, there are trees, there are houses, there is a pond, there is a lake. I go out to the open. Look at this. Ah, there is a sun. And gradually I understand that as I stand by the pool side, I stand by the pool, swimming pool, I see my shadow. And I understand that my shadow is caused by the sun. Then I understand that, oh, what I saw on the wall was a shadow. Now I realize. Then I understand the ultimate cause of all things is the sun. The ultimate cause of everything is the sun. We see things because of the sun. Then I come back. Then I come back to my den. And when I come back to my den, I tell my fellows, hey, I went out and I found there is sun, there is moon, there is stars, there is a lake, there are trees, there is a world. And this is not true. Then these guys who haven't been outside, they think that I am wrong and they are right. Whereas reality is, I am right and they are wrong. But they wrongly think that they are right and I am and they won't easily believe me. But my job is, because I went out, because I saw the truth, because I understand the reality, because I'm enlightened, because I become a philosopher. Now I'm a philosopher. Now I am a philosopher in the sense that I understand the reality. Who are philosophers? People who understand the truth. Who are philosophers? People who understand what is truth. I went out, I looked at the sun, I looked at the moon, I looked at the world. Now I know that everything is caused by the sun, not by this fire, not by this person, not by this shadow. Now I understand that just as the sun causes shadows outside, now I know that this fire was causing his shadow over the wall. Now I understand that this shadow is 3 times removed from the reality because it is caused by the fire by casting this person's reflection. Now I understand that this person is truer than the shadow, right? Now I understand that this person will also die. Therefore, the idea of a human being is truer than a real flesh human being. Now I understand that this world is false. This world is sensory. This world is shadowy. This world is untrue. This world is a reflection. The ultimate reality is the spiritual world. And I come back. I come back to my den. And I tell my fellow people. At first, they do not believe me. And they decide to kill me, saying that this guy went outside and he lost his vision. He lost his understanding. And look what nonsense he's talking about. Because these guys have never gone outside, so they think that the den is reality. Now, in an allegory, the writer compares 2 things. For example, the den, the cave in this story is compared to the world. The cave means our world. Cave means our world. The prisoners means the people living in this world. Prisoners are people living in this world. As he was standing here, shaking his hands, he was walking through the wall. This is social media. This is social media. And we believe that social media is true. But the reality cast by social media is never true. What we should understand, that what we see on social media is just a reflection of the society. This is not ultimate truth. Now, as the guy walks outside the cave, he has to climb, because caves, if you see geologically, caves have opening at a high altitude. Do you realize? Caves have an opening at a higher altitude. You have to climb down. Now, as this guy ascends the cave door, this ascending is symbolically, this gentleman, wait a minute, this ascending, I wish we had a camera person to assist me from time to time, right? This ascending is symbolic of this ascending. As I told you earlier, the soul ascends in the hierarchy of knowledge. The soul ascends in the hierarchy, and from the realm of the visible, it arrives to the realm of the intelligible. Just as the philosopher, or just as one of the prisoners ascended and gradually came to the door and ultimately saw the reality, our soul also ascends gradually through hypothesis testing, and then through reasoning, through wisdom, through intelligence, and finally, just as the guy sees the sun, the soul sees the ultimate cause. And just as the guy comes to know that the ultimate cause of everything in this world is sun. Everything in this world is ultimately caused by the sun. The soul understands that this world, the material world, is the second cause, third cause. The ultimate cause is God. Ultimate cause is God. This is a kind of summary of this allegory. one aspect. Thank you, you can take a seat. From paragraph 1 to paragraph 35, let me show you. From para 1 to 35, Plato discusses the concept of allegory. Okay, now, okay, let me do one thing. We have 10 minutes. Now we won't move further with the lesson. Take your copy, open a new page. Take your copy, open a new page. Take your pen. Take your pen. And write a question. Write a question. Explain the concept of the divided line. Explain the concept of the divided line and the idea of the OF, allegory of the cave, in detail. In detail. Now look at me. You will continuously write for 10 minutes and you will write fast. Hello? Base your writing on this class that I explained, right? You listen to me, right? Now, recalling what I said, try to answer my question. Now you will write continuously, non-stop for 10 minutes. Your time starts now. You can have conversation with your friend. You can consult your note copies. You can consult your note copies if necessary. You can look at the whiteboard. You can talk to your friend. You can take help from your friend. But keep writing. You will not talk. You will write continuously for 10 minutes. And you will explain two ideas. The concept of the divided line. The concept of the divided line and the concept of the allegory of the cave. You can draw the figure of the divided line. You can explain the 2-3 sections of the divided line. The realm of the visible, the realm of the intelligible. The below section is material world. The above section is spiritual world. Then you can explain about the idea of cognition. The idea of cognition, for example. You can talk about the theory of cognition. You will produce 1 page of writing by the end of this class. That will be used for an internal evaluation. So keep writing. Please write. This is a kind of test. A kind of test, not exactly. You can seek help from me if necessary. If you need any help, you can call me. The best thing is you keep writing. If necessary, read, but you have to write. Your pen should be moving. That's the rule. Because you heard me in the class, you heard me discussing. Now you will write. Yes. Calling me.
Sir, there.
I'm coming to you. You want to go out? You need help? Okay. Hello. Do not talk, right? Hello. You will scan and mail me right now as a test. The paper will be scanned right now and mailed as a test. Yes, we were asking something.
So you have seen this section of this text from the paragraph 1 so the speech 2 is and also
जस्तै वान छ
so 1 यहाँ भयो अनि अब 3 सिधै
त्यो यस्तो हो त्यो टुमा एक सेन्टेन्स मात्रै छ कि म नराखेको Keep writing, keep writing. The rule is you should go on writing. You can consult your notes, you can consult your teacher, you can look on the whiteboard,
Sorry.
you can seek help.
So what is the source of the given, the fire inside the given?
I don't know, you decide. होइन आफै त्यो किताबले रिडिङ सिकाउँछ त्यो किताब राम्रो छ पढ्नु पर्ने छ अरूमा कोर्स पनि छ यहाँ छैन
We have to write about material and ultimate goal.
हो Go on. Come in. Try to keep writing.